on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe the soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. And tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, Supreme Court adjourns indefinitely the injunction application and the main LGBTQ case currently before it.
Having therefore diligently analyzed all the material processes on the record in this instant application and listened to oral submissions by learned counsel for the parties, our decision is to reserve our verdict on the interlocutory application until the final determination of the substantive suit, at which point we will render a comprehensive judgment.
We'll tell you what this means to the bill that was in Parliament. Also coming up, Locked Up Investment Holders Forum returned to the streets for the umpteenth time. But when would they get their money? That's a question that they were asking without getting answers on the streets today. And later on Eyewitness News, we go to Parliament, where the minority side has disclosed that the government is indebted to the tune of over 6 billion Ghana cedis to organizations and individuals involved in the implementation of the free senior high school policy. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Ghana's producer price inflation increases to 25.9%. We have more from the Ghana Statistical Service's latest report.
That's in 50 minutes from the City Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. In the Upper West region, we are on Tunsung 97.3 FM in the capital Wa, and we are in Jirapa on 96.1 FM, Jirapa FM. We are also in the Upper East region on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Northern region, we are on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM in Bimbila. In the Volta region, we are in Hohoe on VOV Radio 95.7 FM, and we are also on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajavu. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Western region, we are on Ajinpa 100.7 FM in Takwa Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady and Sky Power 93.5 FM also in Takrady. We're live on our YouTube channel. Look for Citi FM and listen to what's happening here. We are also on citynewsroom.com. That's our website. We are interactive. Send us messages on WhatsApp 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can also go on WhatsApp and on Twitter, now known as X, and send me your message using the hashtag Eyewitness News. My handle is at Umaru Sanda. You can also mention at City 973 in your comments. Let's settle for details of our stories now, and we are going to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has deferred the ruling on the injunction application filed by researcher Dr. Amanda Odoi and journalist and lawyer Richard Delasky of the transmission of the anti-LGBTQ bill to the president. The court says it would deliver the ruling on the same day that the final judgment is delivered. Let's listen to Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono.
By this application, the plaintiff applicants prays for an order of interlocutory injunction to restrain the first defendant respondents, the Clerk of Parliament, and their respective agents, servants, and assigns from forwarding the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill, which was passed by Parliament on Wednesday, February 20th, 2024, as a Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024, hereinafter referred to as a bill, to the President for his assent pending the final determination of this present suit. This application rests on a writ which the applicants caused to be issued against the respondents, invoking the original jurisdiction of this court for a number of reliefs summed up at paragraph 22 of applicant's statement of case in support of an application for the interlocutory injunction filed on 7th of March 2024. Paragraph 22 reads, on 1st June 2023, the applicant caused the writ of summons suit number J1-13-2023, the suit, to be issued against the respondent, seeking orders of this honorable court to compel the first respondent to comply with the constitutional requirements in Article 108, unquote. To the extent relevant for our decision, we shall distill the background facts into a brief narrative focusing on the essential elements that will inform our consideration and resolution of the issues raised in this application. We have thoroughly reviewed all the material processes on the record in this application, and we are convinced that the matters raised in this application can be better dealt with by obtaining all the facts through an early trial than by considering the peculiar merits for the purpose of the purposes of this application at this time. We also hold the view that an early trial of the action will serve the cause of justice better in view of the fact that it will render a clearer view of the constitutional issues raised, better than a sustained dispute over interlocutory matters. The presentation that processes necessary for the substantive suit are being filed bolsters our decision to consider both the interlocutory application and the substantive suit together, enabling this court to deliver a more informed, comprehensive, and just decision that accounts for all relevant circumstances and factors in this important matter. Such a unified approach will further provide context and clarity, and also afford a clearer understanding of the issues raised in this interlocutory matter and their impact on the main suit. Having therefore diligently analyzed all the material processes on the record in this instant application and listened to oral submissions by learned counsel for the parties, our decision is to reserve our verdict on the interlocutory application until the final determination of the substantive suit, at which point we will render a comprehensive judgment that addresses all aspects of the case, including the current application for injunction. In conclusion, the decision of this court on this application for an interlocutory injunction is hereby deferred to abide the outcome of the determination of the substantive suit.
My Lord, we are grateful. Lady, I believe that is fair and equitable, and we cannot but say we are grateful. My Lord, we are also grateful.
Thank you.
So that's Attorney General's words you heard there, Godfrey Yobo-Adami, and earlier you heard the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono speaking and announcing what the position of the Supreme Court would be. So there's an adjournment of the two cases indefinitely. The main judgment on the LGBTQI bill, which is currently before the Supreme Court, brought by Richard Delaskai, would be determined. And on the day that the judgment will be delivered, the court will also tell us whether or not it agrees with Dr. Amanda Odoi's request on whether or not the letter should be transmitted to the president. So that's the summary of what happened in court. After the court sitting, the lawyer for Richard Delaskai, known as Pakwesi Abedu, spoke to journalists about what they make of the decision of the Supreme Court and the way forward.
Before court, and it has not been determined, although it has not expressly been stated granted or not granted. But once it is pending, we don't do anything to prejudice the outcome of the application. So we say that invariably, indirectly, it is still restraining any party from doing anything contrary to the demands of the application.
I mean, for clarity, as far as you are concerned, you do not expect Parliament to transmit the bill at this stage?
They can't do it insofar as this matter is pending. Otherwise, it will amount to contempt of court, to the best of our understanding of the law.
The court says early trial. What's your understanding of that? How different is it? Early trial.
When the court speaks about an early trial, in effect, what it means is that it will speed up the process towards the determination of the matter, so that this whole issue of injunction before final determination will no longer take a center stage.
With a legal vacation inside, how soon do you expect this thing to happen? If you have in mind that the court is asking you to file your own process and cooperate.
As an officer of the court, I'm not in the least in the position to dictate the timetable of the court. But the farthest I can say is that pleadings have not closed in the matter.
That's Pakwesi Abedu. He's a lawyer for Richard Delaskai, journalist and lawyer, who has taken that LGBTQI case to the Supreme Court. While we are waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision, Amnesty International, a human rights wing, has been speaking on the decision by the president not to assent to the bill. Eno, tell us about that.
Amnesty International Ghana has endorsed President Akufo-Addo's decision not to sign into law the anti-LGBTQ plus bill, applauding the president for redirecting the bill to the court for the judiciary to decide on the merit of the issues. The group also expressed worry over the feeding grants of 1.80 pesos each for inmates in the various prisons and the issue of congestion at the prisons, equating the struggles of prisoners at our various prisons to torture. Speaking to City News, Board Chairman of Amnesty International Ghana, Francis Nyantechi, noted that government must take decisive steps to address these issues.
If Amnesty International opposes the bill, we think that the president shouldn't sign. We think that this is a bill that is going to retrogress our society. We should be forward thinking. We should be looking at topical human rights issues that is affecting the ordinary. We don't need to gag minorities. We don't need to fight a fight that is unwieldy. And so this bill is, for us, is not important. Thank the president for taking a very decisive step by redirecting the bill back to the court. We think that the law that is being made is irrelevant. It doesn't help. It makes us progressive. The biggest challenge in our prisons is that the prisons are overcrowded. So it's supposed to be a reformative environment. It should not be a punitive environment. I mean, it's inhumane to feed an adult, a human being, with 1 cedi 80 pesos a day. I don't think it's even enough to buy sachet water. And so we think that we are torturing the prisoners. That is not the purpose of prisons. Prisons is to reform, help them so that they can come back to our society as more responsible individuals.
That was Board Chairman of Amnesty International Ghana, Francis Nyantechi.
Let's go back to the Supreme Court. A man who sat through proceedings today for us is our court correspondent, Hansen Najiman. He's joined me on the line. Hansen, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. So, explain this for us. There was an injunction application. Typically, in cases like this, that becomes a ruling that would be made before the substantive case proceeds. But from what the Chief Justice has said, it means that we will not know the position of this injunction application that Amanda Odoye has brought until the end of the case, which end itself we are not sure. Is that a summary of what happened?
Exactly the point. Because if you look at the injunction application, they touch on the very essence of the substantive cases. And so it's pretty much impossible to, and I'm using impossible in my own words, to treat the injunction application without touching on the substantive case. So lawyers for Richard Delaskai and Dr. Amanda Odoye in their injunction application argued that on prima facie level, the process for approving the bill breached Article 108 of the 1992 Constitution. So Article 108 of the 1992 Constitution specifically stipulates that Parliament would not consider a bill which is not coming from the executive if that bill, in the opinion of the Speaker of Parliament or any person presiding, actually the phrase there is the person presiding, puts a cost on the consolidated fund. And so it is the argument of plaintiffs in both cases that if you look at it carefully, the bill in its form and shape poses a cost on the consolidated fund. And so the Speaker ought to have given an opinion. This opinion should have been given to say that the bill poses a cost on the consolidated fund, and so Parliament cannot deliberate on such a bill. But Parliament cannot from the beginning consider the bill at all. So in their injunction application, they argue that because that opinion was not given, and Parliament went ahead to consider the bill and even passed it, to the extent that they are now hoping to transmit it to the president, the entire process has been tainted. Then if you look at the respective substantive cases of the two, Dr. Amanda Odoye is largely on Article 108. In that substantive case as well, she's saying that Parliament breached Article 108 in that she thinks that the opinion was not given. But even if that opinion was given, that opinion was not given in line with Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution, which provides a guideline on how discretionary powers should be used. That is, the opinion, if the Speaker had given an opinion and said that the anti-LGBTQ bill in its form at the time it was being introduced did not pose any form of cost on the consolidated fund, that cannot be right. And so she's saying that there's been a breach of the Constitution, and so as a result of that, the Supreme Court should declare the bill as null and void. Richard Delaskai, as part of his grounds for coming to court, even though comes largely on a human rights angle, also includes that Article 108 of the 1992 Constitution was breached. Now, the judges, upon listening to the injunction application, indicated that two main questions will have to be answered if they need to decide whether to injunct the transmission of the bill or not. The first question is whether or not the opinion as required by Article 108 was offered. And the second was whether or not, if the bill is transmitted to the press, if the court intervenes, it will be overreaching its powers and interfering with the lawful duties of the legislative arm and the executive arm. Considering the two, the court thought that if it was resolving the injunction application, it would definitely make a conclusion into issues that border on the substantive matter. And so in the wisdom of the five judges, they thought that then it's better to wait, listen to all the arguments, get all the facts, and then we can make a better determination on one, whether to grant their substantive application, and 2, if it was right to have injuncted the application at the time they came. Mind you, when the parties went to court on July 3, at the tail end of proceedings, lawyers for the Speaker of Parliament tried to introduce to the court a document they described as the opinion of the Speaker of Parliament. But that document was not admitted in court. And if that opinion indeed is on that document which they sought to bring into, to introduce into court, delivering on the injunction application without that said document determining whether or not the Speaker indeed gave an opinion in the matter, in the eyes of the judges, will be unfair and unjust. And so the court thought it wise to put the brakes on its ruling to the injunction application and give the ruling when the final, the substantive cases have been determined.
So we don't know when the court would resume, do we?
We don't know. We know what we know is that the Supreme Court now has a policy it operates with. The Chief Justice's office directly is involved in scheduling cases, and she schedules cases as and when everything suggests that this particular case will be heard, so that the days where people would come to court hoping that their case will be called and may not be called, or come to court where their case will be called and the appropriate processes have not been filed, and the case will have to be adjourned, will be a sin of the past. And so if you listen to proceedings today, before giving the ruling, she inquired from the parties as to whether or not the relevant processes that ought to be filed have been filed. And so even though we don't know when the court will be called, the indication we have is that if all relevant processes are filed and all responses have been filed as well, then a panel will be constituted to consider the substantive issues.
Very well. But does it mean they will present all their arguments so that there will be no need for oral arguments in the courtroom? Is that the thinking and the plan? Or they will serve all processes but still come and do oral arguments? What's your understanding of how the procedure will be like?
That would be to the discretion of the court. We also know that in recent time, the court has been tilted more towards written submission. And so it's anticipated that a greater portion of the arguments that will be raised will be made through written submissions. And perhaps what will be added will be some points of law that the lawyers will be given some few minutes to make some advocacy on their feet before the judges. But we also know that the Supreme Court has asked the parties in the suit to liaise and work together and make sure that by the time they are appearing, they have agreed on the memoranda of issues they think ought to be addressed. And so usually what happens is that before written submissions are filed, the parties are given the permission to tell the court what issues they think are of contention before the court. And so the Chief Justice gave an indication that it's important that all those matters are clarified before they come back. It is after that, subsequent directions as to whether the argument should be through written submissions or will be through oral arguments in the courtroom will be made known to the Ghanaian public.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Hansen Ajiman. He's our court correspondent. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll return with more. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Attention, shoppers and textile lovers. The Ghana Revenue Authority introduces the Textile Tax Stamp, effective from July 1st, 2024. This stamp protects your jobs and livelihoods from illicit trading, counterfeiting, and smuggling. This is not a tax. It is just a compliance measure to protect the textiles industry in Ghana. So which products are affected? All African prints, textiles are included. Look out for the green border for domestic products, red border for imports, and blue for the transition period. Remember, look for the textile tax stamp when you buy. Protect our local industry and jobs. For importers and manufacturers, register and get your stamps at your nearest GRA office or online at www.gratextiletaxstamp.com. Please note, it is an offense to display, buy, or sell products without the stamp. Enforcement begins July 1st, 2024. Remember, no stamp, don't buy.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. The Auditor General says the Electricity Company of Ghana did not consider value for money in the procurement of meters. A latest report from the Audit Service says that ECG signed 50 contracts to procure over 800,000 meters and its accessories without adhering to the Public Procurement Act. The audit was carried out from August to December 2022 and recommends, among other things, that the ECG should, with immediate effect, subject all procurement activities to the requirements of the Public Procurement Act, while the head of procurement unit should monitor the delivery schedule of meter contracts and immediately re-award those delaying to curb shortages in supply of meters. Here are highlights of the report from the Audit Service.
The performance audit report of the Auditor General on the management of meters by the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, was to examine and give assurance that power theft has been minimized through how the Electricity Company of Ghana planned, budgeted, procured and monitored its installed meters. The audit was carried out from August to December 2022 and covered the period 2016 to 2021 at the ECG head office, Metering and Technical Services Division, the materials and depot in the Greater Accra region, as well as 4 selected regional and 9 district offices. According to the report signed by the Auditor General Johnson Ikuyama Isiedu, states that the team also visited the meter depot in Tema as well as selected regional and district stores to gather information to support their observations. They observed that though some achievements on the deployment of meters for the purposes of billing and revenue mobilization have been made in meter management, there were challenges in the planning and budgeting for meters, procurement of meters, and monitoring of installed meters. The report says, although the ECG estimated for the quantities of meters required, the methods used to estimate for quantity of meters were not dependent on empirical data, thereby leading to poor budget estimates and procurements. This affected the quantities of meters supplied to the regions and districts. 50 contracts were signed to procure 862,750 meters and its accessories, amounting to over $145 million over the audit period without adhering to the Public Procurement Act. The company did not consider value for money in the process of procuring meters by ensuring competitiveness and transparency. ECG did not monitor all its prepayment meters as required, and thus was not able to recover the almost 54 million cedis detected, and also failed to prosecute customers engaged in power theft. The audit service therefore recommended that the ECG should plan and procure meters to offset the backlog to stop the power theft by frustrated customers to raise the needed revenues. They also recommended that with immediate effect, ECG should subject all procurement activities to the requirements of the Public Procurement Act. It further recommended that the Revenue Protection Unit should take steps to recover all detected fraud amounts. Also, mechanisms are to be established at the regional and district offices with the focus of monitoring prepayment meters. And lastly, all customers involved in power theft are to be prosecuted to serve as a deterrent.
You heard highlights of a report from the Audit Service on the management of meters by the Electricity Company of Ghana, read by Zoe Abubedu Ado.
Let's talk about people's finances or people's money, locked up funds now. There's a group that has been demonstrating for only God knows how long. The group is known as Locked Up Investment Holders Forum. We've spoken to the convener here a number of times, Dr. Eduanani Entry. In fact, he was the head of the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, but he has since retired and has been leading the advocacy for the payment of locked up investments that have not been paid since the government intervened. So clients of NDK Financial Services, Bond Savings and Loans, and SIC Life Savings, as well as, and loans. All of these persons who say their monies have not been paid them went to the Ministry of Finance again. I think it will be the umpteenth time, isn't it? Dr. Edouard Nanintro, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you. I hope you are fine.
I'm fine, better than you. At least I've not been demonstrating for only God knows how long. This will be your how many times? This how many times?
I think that's the seventh time.
Seventh time?
Yes.
So far, how far?
Well, so far, the ministry hasn't demonstrated anything signs that we would say positive signs. Because since we met the deputy minister the first day of the picketing, that's some assurances were given, and we suspended the picketing for 2 weeks because he was traveling and wanted to wait for him to come back. Since he came back, there has been no development. The first time, the second time we went, they say he has traveled again, so we couldn't have the meeting. The third time we went, we were told he was in the country, but he was engaged in some workshops. And since then, that was on the 12th June, since we were told that we haven't heard a word from the ministry. And so we are still picketing, and we have submitted the matter to Parliament for Parliament to impress on the minister to make the necessary financial provision for the Bank of Ghana to revoke these licenses and pay investors their locked up funds.
Your demonstration today was where?
The same, we met at the NDK Financial Services, their premises, at 9 o'clock. When we get the numbers that we meet, we march from there to the ministry and picket up to 12 noon. That's the normal schedule, and that is what we handle or we did today.
So no one said anything to you today?
No one, absolutely no one. It's like us. It's like there are no people there even working, let alone come and see somebody or talk to anybody.
About how many were you? Perhaps you didn't attract enough attention?
No, even if we were 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it shouldn't be the numbers. The numbers were there. We had our numbers, but even the day 2 weeks ago when it was raining, we got at least 10 people to be there. So today we're more than that. We're in our numbers, but they are not interested in numbers or numbers. They have just refused to even come. I mean, the top people to even sit down with you. As promised, your meeting is not coming. We march there to pick it there. You don't tell us anything. I think they should show us some respect. You are a leader. And if your subjects even come to you, you must accord them some respect. And just to ignore them. Ignoring them is not the right way of dealing with people, as if they don't exist. You don't have to do that. And I think it's wrong.
What's the way forward? What next for you guys?
Well, we will continue to picket every Wednesday until, as we have said, if we don't get results, we'll picket until the end of November, break for the elections and Christmas, and resume after the New Year. But if we get any positive thing, then we will stop before that. We've submitted the matter to Parliament, so we are also working with Parliament to work on that. We received a letter from the Speaker last Friday, that they are implementing some new rules, and the new rules require that these petitions are submitted to the Speaker by a member of Parliament. And so we are working to get it done in that formal way now, the formal way that they are using now, for it to be submitted to the Speaker through a member of Parliament. So we are working on that.
How bad is it for the customers who are still not being paid? How bad is it for them?
Too bad. You see, I always say that investment, if we are talking about investment, is the elderly people. The elderly people are the people that are involved in investment. And so when there are issues about investment, they are the most that are affected. You have people who even invested their lump sum payment that they got on their retirement. So if you took your lump sum payment and you have invested that, thinking that will help you to meet life's emergencies, your sickness, whatever, and it's not coming. There is a problem there. People have died. We know that. If you go to NDK, they will tell you some of their clients have passed on. Some of the people who have been passed on, their family men want to get their money to even organize fitting burial and funeral for them. They are not getting. So those who are gone are gone. The rest that are living. Last week, if your reporters were there, he's just about 73 years, but very weak because of all these sicknesses. And he was there and sat in the chair for the time that we were picketing. He was interviewed. You could see that he needed money. And this man, elderly man, he has only 40,000 Ghana cedis. 40,000 Ghana cedis. And he thinks that if he gets this money, he will be able to take care of his medication. It's not coming. So it's a huge challenge to the elderly and the sick. And that is why we think that government should do something. The ministry should look at the issue and ensure that people are taken care of. It's something that is demoralizing, and people, the young ones, are already not investing, and now they tell you there's no way we are going to invest. And the investment is what fuels the economy, the growth of the economy. People need money to establish companies, to run industries, and it is people's money they go and take out of people's investment to run the economy, to run their businesses. So if we are doing this, it is going to discourage the little ones, the few ones that are investing are going to be discouraged to completely stop. And those who are yet to invest, they keep on asking you invested, what has happened to you, and you want me to invest. So they are using their money to buy land and to buy hard currency so that they put it there. Anytime they need money, they go and take and exchange some and use. And that is why prices of land is going up, and our exchange rate is depreciating because people are buying dollars, pounds, and all hard currencies instead of putting their money in financial instruments, investment, for the monies to be used to run companies, to make projects that will bring development to the country.
Very well. We wish you all the best and keep on keeping on, as we say.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's Dr. Edu Anani Entry. He is convener of the Locked Up Investment Holders Forum, returning to the demonstration grounds today and planning to do that every Wednesday until their monies are paid them. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Eno.
A Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has taken a swipe at Lands and Natural Resources Minister Samuel Abu Jenapo over alleged selectivity in his response to claims of state capture. Samuel Jenapo, in a statement released yesterday, refuted Ablakwa's allegations of selling state lands, including the Dubois Center and the prison services at Roman Ridge, to cronies of the government. Speaking to City News, the North Tong legislator described as untrue the lands minister's response and underscored the need for a deliberate attempt to prevent the wanton sale of state properties.
First of all, it is important to emphasize that the Minister for Lands deliberately leaves out major state capture cases I have presented both in Parliament and outside Parliament. For example, the Minister for Lands did not speak to the 26 April 2017 demolition of the Bulgarian embassy at East Cantonments, which was subsequently sold to an appointee of President Akufo-Addo at NDPC by name Dr. Yao Edu Ampoma. As we speak, the Bulgarians are still waiting for their compensation. Why did the Lands Minister not speak to that? Why did the Lands Minister not speak to the demolition of properties belonging to the Nigerian High Commission, which happened at night on the 19th of June 2020? Why did the Lands Minister not speak to the takeover of the Labadi Beach Hotel's beachfront by former NPP chairman Freddie Blaise Sands? Why did the Lands Minister not speak to the attempted sale of 62.14 acres of prime land belonging to the Ghana Airports Company Limited to a company known as Heaven Builders Limited? But for my prompt expose on the 2nd of October 2023, all of that prime land will have been gone.
Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa further argues that the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abdullahi Jenapo, lacks the will to tackle the issue of state capture.
They are transferring the management, the financing of the Dubois Center. They are transferring either the minister has not seen that agreement or is being dishonest or doesn't know what I'm talking about. I have published the agreement and that has not been challenged by the ministers who signed. The foreign minister, the local government minister. I'll give you a copy of that. So I'm speaking to facts, and which are incontrovertible, which are irrefutable. So I don't know what the minister is. So the minister is claiming that either the foreign minister or the attorney general didn't sign those agreements, or that what they engage in is an illegality. Exactly what the minister said. So look, his statement has not shed light. It has not given confidence that this minister can be relied upon to fight state capture. Clearly, he wants to be on the side of those who are creating problems, who are dissipating our state resources. And it's clear that we cannot count on this minister to fight state capture.
Samuel Okujeto-Ablakwa is MP for North Tong.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. To some developing news, Channel 1 Television is reporting on channel1news.com that Akufo-Addo appoints COP Yohuno as Deputy Inspector General of Police. The story reads, President Akufo-Addo has appointed Commissioner of Police COP Christian Tete Yohuno as the new Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations. This was contained in a letter signed by the Director of Communications at the Presidency, Eugene Ahin. According to the letter, the appointment is pursuant to the advice of the Police Council at its meeting held today, Wednesday, July 17, 2024. Quote, COP Christian Tete Yohuno is a distinguished law enforcement officer with a career spanning over 3 decades and has held various key positions within the Ghana Police Service. Unquote. The statement also added further that, quote, the President Akufo-Addo extends his heartfelt congratulations to COP Christian Tete Yohuno on his well-deserved appointment and wishes him the very best in the discharge of his duties, unquote, the letter said. So that's a story published by Channel 1 TV News online.com. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, channel1news.com. Let's go now to another story from the House of Parliament. And the minority in Parliament is making an allegation that the free SHS policy as a program has led to some 6 billion CD debt on Ghana's books. The man making the claim is the ranking member on the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Nochu Koto. He's joined us on the line. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Umaru. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So the full package is 6 billion Ghana cedis, and you're saying that free senior high school policy. Break it down for us, and what's the source of this information that you are sharing?
Thank you very much. Let me say that what the minority is putting across is that there is this indebtedness as a result of the free SHS policy, government's inability to pay a number of people who have provided services or goods and services for the government so that the free SHS program can go on smoothly. The Minister for Education and then the Vice President a few weeks ago launched the One Student, One Tablet program in Kumasi. And we are aware that 1,350,000 tablets have been supplied. And then the cost of each of them is $250. So if you put the 1,350,000 tablets, it's around 337 million Ghana cedis, translating into about 5 billion and 62 million Ghana cedis. We are saying that yes, we we support the introduction of a technology into our educational system, but that should not be at a cost to somebody whose business, if we don't take time, will collapse. So our position is that we don't want businesses to collapse. These are people who are helping the country with their own resources. So if they should provide goods and services for the country for a program to succeed, then it is also incumbent upon government to make sure that monies are made available to these suppliers or providers of the goods and services. That is our concern. Now, so if you look at the supply of the tablets, they are owing the suppliers so much. If care is not taken, will collapse. Then those who supplied food items over some period now have not been paid. The Ghana commodities, the back stock, owing these suppliers of food items. I know one particular individual who supplied thousands of bags of maize and is being owed over 9 million Ghana cedis since January this year. At the time they supplied the maize, the price was not what it is today. So you are keeping that person out of business, or you are pushing him out of business because the price at which he supplied it to you, you didn't pay him at that time. Now you are paying him at a certain price, and that cannot buy that quantity of maize again. I know an individual who also supplied tons of oil palm, and up to today, he has not been paid. You see, so we are fighting for the businesses and the individuals who have sacrificed their resources to make sure that items that are needed for the implementation of the free research are provided. And once they are sacrificing, you need to pay them. Then also, you realize that WAEC, as part of the free research program, no student at the senior high school pays for registration of students for the conduct of the WASE. And next month, the WASE is taking place. Meanwhile, government has not paid WAEC anything. They are owing them a total of 224 million Ghana cedis. You remember recently we had to talk before money was released to WAEC to conduct the BEC. And should we talk again before money is released for the conduct of the WASE also? So we are bringing this to the fore for Ghanaians to appreciate the challenges those who are serving the nation with their resources are suffering. That is the bottom line of it.
As Parliament with oversight, what can you do beyond? Can you invite anybody to come and answer questions? What push do you have at your disposal?
We have discovered or realized that any time these issues come up or government is delaying, it is only when we talk. You invite them, they will tell you, we are working on it. We will work on it. This BEC issue, we invited the ministers for education and finance. It's only the deputy minister for education that represented the minister. And we realized that that is not an issue which the deputy minister will handle. We will need the minister himself to appear before the committee. So as a minority, we decided that, well, this time we will put everything in the public domain so that the public will appreciate the challenges people are going through for government to take the necessary action.
Now, someone just wants you to explain further the one tablet per student or the one laptop initiative is not necessarily a part of the free senior high school policy. So it would be an unfair thing to do if you put all of it together, wouldn't it?
No, you will not get it that way because it is part of the free research program that you are going to supply students with this equipment to enhance their ability to study. So everything at the secondary school that is provided is connected to or with the free senior high school program. The supply of school uniforms is part of the free research. The supply of textbooks, exercise books, everything that is supplied to enable the students learn are all connected with the free senior high school. So no one can say, or it will be wrong for anybody to say that it's not connected. It's part and parcel of the policy and the program.
Thank you for speaking to us, and I hope that you do get the Minister for Education or maybe the Minister of Finance to come through Parliament and give you some more answers. Thank you for speaking to us.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the ranking member of the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Nochukoto. We've made attempts to hear from the ministries responsible for this. We've not been successful. When we do, we will share that with you. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, and we'll be back with the latest in the world of business in a few minutes, and then we have Point Blank coming up next. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. And what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
The go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
One of the best decisions you can possibly make at the start of your day is to tune in to the City Breakfast Show. Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The City Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the City Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The City Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Kojo, I want to learn how to drive.
No problem at all, my dear. I will get Uncle Kofi to teach you. He taught my father and even me.
Bakojo pa, in this day and age.
Don't take chances when it comes to learning how to drive. Your best bet is Freight Masters Driving Institute. Freight Masters Driving Institute has qualified instructors who are dedicated to equipping you with the right skills for the road. Locate our office at Tema Community 5, adjacent Golden Chopsticks, or Tema Community 25 on the Deftraco Estate Road, Asaleboche, in the same building with Fidelity Bank, Westland, Hato, opposite Starbite Shell Filling Station, or on the Spintex Road, Aviation Highway Hydrophone Estate. Call us on 0303 973 388 or 0267 266 211. Visit our website www.freightmastersdriving.com. Freight Masters Driving Institute. Defensive driving with the right skills.
Rise, Ghana youth, for your country.
It's another service year. Hooray! And management of the National Service Scheme is requesting user agencies, including private corporate organizations, MMDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies, and all interested entities that wish to host national service personnel for the 2024-2025 service year to put in a formal request to the Secretariat. This year's postings are private sector driven. Therefore, user agencies are to state in writing the number of service personnel required and specify the desired academic qualifications. All requests must be on official letterhead, including the organization's official address, email, phone numbers, and location. Agencies with special needs are advised to contact the NSS Secretariat for discussions. All requests must reach the NSS Secretariat before the 30th of July 2024. National Service, service to the nation.
In building a fatherland.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inusafo. Let's settle for the details. Latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service indicates that the producer price inflation rate for June 2024 was 25.9%. This rate indicates that between June 2023 and June 2024, the PPI increased by 25.9%, representing a 2.5 percentage point increase in producer inflation relative to the 23.4% recorded in May 2024.
The increase represents a 2.5 percentage point surge in producer inflation relative to the rates recorded in May 2024. The month-on-month change in the rates between May 2024 and June 2024 was 2.7%. The Producer Price Index measures the average change over time in the selling prices of goods and services as received by domestic producers. Per the data, the producer price inflation in the industry sector, excluding the construction sector, increased to 29.4% in June 2024 from the 28.5% in May 2024. The rate in the construction sector increased to 29.4% in June 2024. In the services sector, the rate increased from 11.4% in May 2024 to 12.2% in June 2024. While mining and quarrying, construction, accommodation and food services activities recorded rates above the national average, the water supply, sewage and waste management activity recorded the lowest rate of 2.6% in June 2024.
That was a news desk report by Daniel Sakite. Now, government has assured of efforts to address the concerns of stakeholders within the liquefied petroleum gas marketing sector regarding the cylinder recirculation model set to launch in September. The model, scheduled to commence this year, will allow consumers to exchange their empty gas cylinders for filled ones at designated exchange points after registering with their national identity card. Speaking after the opening session of the 2024 Ghana International Petroleum Conference organized by the National Petroleum Authority Minister of State at the Energy Ministry, Herbert Krapper urged stakeholders to embrace the model,
which is a plan together with the LPG program, national program, to try and move our cylinder LPG penetration to over 50% by 2030. And the cylinder recirculation model is helping to do that together with all the sensitization programs that we are putting in place. And we hope that more and more private sector persons can take advantage of these policies that we are putting in place. What is important is for private sector to embrace the policies that we have, the incentives that we give. And as we talk about private sector, government is also very focused on Ghanaian participation, being firmly at the helm of things in that private sector participation.
You heard Minister of State at the Energy Ministry, Herbert Krapper there. Latest data from the United States Department of Agriculture reveals that imports of key consumer-oriented products into Ghana reached $1.25 billion in 2023. The figure, though a decrease of about 7% compared to what was recorded in 2022, is disturbing as the trend continues to make the economy highly import-dependent.
Per the data from the 2023 USDA Food Imports Annual Report on Ghana, the top 10 key essential products imported include poultry and meat products, dairy products, vegetable oils, fruits and vegetables, wine and beer, dog food, among others. The major source countries include the EU, China, Brazil, Canada, Turkey, and the United States. Already, the USDA has indicated that Ghana's growing middle class have been triggering increases in retail spending. Last year, the country's retail spending increased to $24 billion. Though traditional retail channels are preferred over modern ones, largely due to lower prices, the department maintains that modern grocery retailers will continue increasing due to growing urbanization, as Ghana offers expanding market opportunities to U.S. importers due to its relatively liberal import policies. Aside from the $1.2 billion spent on essential food imports in 2023, the country separately imported $133 million worth of ingredients for food processing.
That was a news desk report by Netelinete Ajahu. Now, the Vehicle and Assets Dealers Union of Ghana wants the government to make provisions in the upcoming mid-year budget review to scrap the payment of the upfront value-added tax at the ports. The Minister for Finance, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, is expected to present the 2024 mid-year budget review to Parliament on July 23 to provide an update on the implementation of the 2024 budget with insights into the economic and fiscal performance for the first half of the year. Ahead of that, members of the union are calling on the government to reduce the tax burden on businesses. Here's Executive Secretary of the Vehicle and Assets Dealers Union of Ghana, Stanley Atanli Kofiga, speaking to Citi Business News.
We are looking at government putting up certain incentives in order to reduce the cost of duties at the port. You know that as we speak, there is an upfront VAT that we pay at the port, which is we are asking government to look at that particular line item in the tax component. The percentage there has not been fully, it's not clear. So all you see is upfront VAT and then the amount is there. You don't clearly see the percentage. But when you divide your duty element, you realize that it is 1/3 of the duty, the total cost of duty. So for example, if your duty is 100,000, you have the upfront VAT, which is about 50,000. And also we expect government to let us know what actually they are doing to mitigate the fall in the CD.
Stanley Kofiga is the Executive Secretary of Vehicle and Assets Dealers Union of Ghana. Now, the Ghana Airports Company Limited has confirmed that the check-in systems at Terminal 3 of the Kotoka International Airport experienced a disruption on Tuesday, July 16, 2024. The company indicated that the disruption, which lasted for about an hour, was caused by a fiber optic system failure. It also noted that passengers were promptly informed of the situation with regular updates through announcements. GACL, in the statement, apologized to affected passengers and assured them of its commitment to providing seamless facilitation at all airports. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. The business news on Eyewitness News is brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inusafo. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Attention, facility management professionals. Get ready for the event of the year, the IFMA Global Africa Conference in Ghana, August 1st and 2nd at the UPSA Auditorium, hosted by the International Facility Management Association's Ghana chapter. This is your chance to meet the world's top FM experts, thought leaders, and innovators. Immerse yourself in groundbreaking keynotes, interactive panels, hands-on workshops, and unmatched networking sessions. Explore the future of facility management in Africa's booming built environments. Don't miss out on the epic gathering of minds and ideas. The IFMA Global Africa Conference, August 1st and 2nd at the UPSA Auditorium. Be there. Proudly sponsored by Fitters Group. To register or to sponsor, please call 0558 368 544.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Today, the Electoral Commission chairperson has been speaking
and reiterating the EC's commitment towards an open and transparent electoral process in December. We've seen videos on social media appearing to show women affiliated with a political party accusing the EC of registering voters and conducting a voter transfer exercise unlawfully. The EC has denied the claims, saying that the videos are misleading and false. During the presentation of the Democracy Cup to the Electoral Commission by the leadership of Parliament today, the chairperson of the EC, Jean Mensah, assured of a transparent election and urged political leaders to accept the outcome of the polls. After she spoke, the Deputy Clerk of Parliament in charge of Corporate and Financial Management Services, Ebenezer Jetro, stressed the need for peace and security in the elections. Let's listen to the two persons.
We believe that this initiative by the Speaker, the Right Honourable Speaker, and the leadership of Parliament couldn't have come at a better time. We're all mindful of the fact that we stand at the dawn of yet another election, the 2024 general election. And therefore, this initiative to promote and trumpet peace in Ghana, across the 16 regions of Ghana, is a laudable one. We applaud the Speaker and the leadership for the Democracy Cup that will culminate in the playing of a football match this afternoon at the Accra Sports Stadium. And I believe the essence of the cup is to demonstrate to the citizenry, and particularly the youth, that elections is also a contest. And at the end of the day, parties put in their very best, but at the end of the contest, at the end of the match, one emerges the winner. And just as the football match is conducted in an open and transparent manner, so are the electoral processes of the Electoral Commission of Ghana. From the very beginning, the registration through to the collation and the declaration of the results, our processes are also undertaken in an open and transparent manner, involving key stakeholders, i.e. the political parties, the security agencies, and the citizenry. And it is also done in an open and transparent manner. And so just like the football match, we serve as the midwives that birth the elections. We are the referees that conduct and that lay the election and the processes that lead to, the election day itself. And so as referees, we are committed to, ensuring that our activities from now in the lead up to the election and all our electoral processes are transparent, they are open, they are fair, and they are involve the collaboration of our key stakeholders, i.e. the political parties and the citizenry. So like the referee of the match this afternoon, we commit to ensuring transparency in all aspects of our work. Our activities are open, as I mentioned, right from the registration through to the declaration of elections. Everything is done in the full glare of the public. Nothing is hidden. And we will commit to this, to maintaining and ensuring that level of transparency across all aspects of our work. And so we also want to entreat and call upon the contestants of the election to accept the outcomes of the election. Surely there will be a winner and surely there will be losers. And so we all call on our contestants to accept the outcomes of the elections, because we undertake and we commit to ensuring that the elections are free, they are fair, they are credible, they are transparent, and they are peaceful. So this is the commitment of the Electoral Commission, and it's a commitment that I make on behalf of the entire team, not only 1,700 permanent staff, but on behalf of our over 220,000 temporary staff, that we would undertake our activities in transparency, in fairness, with accountability, and with integrity. And we believe that at the end of the day, the key contestants and the citizenry would affirm that the elections have indeed been fair and credible.
Ghana, 31 years ago, embarked upon a democratic journey under constitutional government after several years of setbacks, interruptions. And so last year we launched 30th anniversary of the Fourth Republic. For the first time under a republic, we've been able to cross 30 years without any interruption. And we felt, not just Parliament, but the entire nation felt that it was a feat worth celebrating. So we launched the 30th anniversary celebration under the able leadership of Right Honorable Speaker, with series of events, mock parliamentary sessions, debate sessions, public fora, interaction with chiefs and people across various sectors, various regions in the country. And we are still in the mode of the celebration. And Right Honorable Speaker, together with the leadership, felt that this should be one of the initiatives we can introduce and observe as an annual affair, and that is a Democracy Cup. Why Democracy Cup? We know the essence of football. It calms our nerves, it provides us opportunity to, share moments of joy and so on and so forth. So football brings us together. Football unites us, And even though it's keenly contested, especially when, there are trophies involved and you have various national teams involved, it's keenly contested. It's a contest. At the end of the day, one person emerges as a winner. The other may lose. After the football match, people still live together as friends, as colleagues. Husband and wife could belong to different, teams. And life goes on peacefully. So, as a symbolic gesture, Right Honorable Speaker and leadership felt that this initiative should be celebrated or observed across the nation, so that as we prepare ourselves for elections, just as 2 or 3 or several teams compete, like we have in the electoral process, where you have a number of political parties contest, one party at any point in time may emerge as a winner. One party could go into alliance with several others. By the end of the day, under the canopy of a particular party leadership, and they emerge as winners. One may lose, one may win. But at the end of the day, the trophy is presented to the winner, like how elections are held. Verdict is declared, and one party takes over the affairs of the nation. So it is with football. So we are using this medium, Right Honorable Speaker and leadership is using this medium to send a message across to all that we are together, we are one people, and we have a common destiny, common cause, the development of the nation. It is a fundamental factor that unifies all of us together. And so we are using this medium to preach this message of peace before, during, and after the election, that we will still live together, even though one entity may emerge as a winner. And the trophy may be presented. The trophy in terms of the administration of the affairs of the nation may be handed over to that entity, that party. We will still live together and move together. So we presented it first to the President of the Republic, and Mr. Speaker did so and invited the President to lead the process, which His Excellency gladly, accepted to do. We've done the presentation to the Chief Justice as well, because there are 3 arms of government. The legislature did a presentation, the initiative coming from us as representatives of the people to His Excellency the President, represent the executive, to the judiciary, represent the other arm of government. And not forgetting the fact that we need peace and security, the process. So the Ghana Police Service, we did present a trophy to the IGP and the members of the commission, inviting them to, as it were, continue with the good work they are doing so that together we will have a very peaceful elections. Not forgetting the fact that there is a referee in a football match. In our democratic dispensation, there's a referee. And the referee is the electoral commissioner. We cannot conclude this process and play this football match today without recourse to the referee in the person of the electoral commission. And so we are here this morning to perform this all-important, simple, but significant task of presenting the trophy to you.
So here the Deputy Clerk of Parliament in charge of Corporate and Financial Management Services, Ebenezer Jetro, speaking during a presentation of the Democracy Cup to the Electoral Commission by leadership of Parliament. Earlier you heard the chairperson of the EC, Jean Mensah, speaking as well. Subsequent to that, there were statements, one from the ranking member on the Youth and Sports Committee, who is Member of Parliament for Tanon North, Frida Prempe. Let's listen to her.
Our democracy has grown stronger and more resilient. We have navigated challenges, celebrated triumphs, and continuously worked towards a brighter future for all our citizens.
Apologies, let me just back announce this. So there was a statement by the ranking member on the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament, an MP for Tanon North, and then MPs contributed to that on the floor. Let's listen to that.
Our democracy has grown stronger and more resilient. We have navigated challenges, celebrated triumphs, and continuously worked towards a brighter future for all our citizens. Mr. Speaker, on February 22nd, 2023, you launched a year-long celebration marking the 30th anniversary of parliamentary democracy, focusing on bringing Parliament closer to the Ghanaian citizenry. These celebrations, spearheaded by a special anniversary committee headed by our experienced colleague, Honorable Samuel Atachia, MP for Iwakwa South Constituency, included various activities such as public forums, mock parliamentary sessions by student parliaments, youth debates, health walks, and prayer sessions. I must emphasize that all the activities rolled out during this period have witnessed unprecedented participation by the good people of Ghana from the northern, middle, and southern sectors of the country. I am pleased, Mr. Speaker, to inform this House that on June 13th, 2024, a significant initiative, the Democracy Cup, was launched by your good self as part of the anniversary activities. This launched by your good self as part of it, this being your initiative and vision, supported by Mr. Jeff Asare, Mr. Larry Opari Ochu, the Deputy Clerk to Parliament, Ebenezer Jetro, and my good self, is commendable and aims to promote democratic principles through sports. Indeed, the 2030 Agenda, adopted in 2015 by the United Nations, highlights that sport is an important enabler of sustainable development and acknowledges the growing contribution of sport to the realization of development and peace in its promotion of tolerance and respect. It also recognizes the contributions sport makes to the empowerment of women and young people, individuals and communities, as well as to health, education, and social inclusion objectives. Mr. Speaker, sports also inherently embody principles of fairness, equality, and respect for rules, which are essential foundations of thriving democracies. They bring individuals of diverse backgrounds together, united by common goals and governed by shared rules. This mirrors the democratic process, where every citizen has an equal voice and opportunity to contribute. In Ghana, Mr. Speaker, sporting events such as those participated in by our national football team, the Black Stars, unite the nation across political, cultural, ethnic, and religious divides. Such moments underscore the power of sports in fostering social integration, national unity, and collective identity. The inaugural Democracy Cup is scheduled to take place on Wednesday, which is today, July 17, 2024, at the Accra Sports Stadium. This event will feature a highly anticipated match between Ghana's two most celebrated football clubs, Accra House of Hope, Phobia, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the Fabulous. Beyond determining the winner in this game, this clash aims to uphold and perpetuate the democratic spirit cherished over the past 30 years. This football match is more than just a game. It is a symbol of our unity, our shared values, and our collective determination to move forward together. Football, often called the beautiful game, mirrors the principles of democracy. It thrives on teamwork, fair play, and respect for rules. On the field, as in the democratic process, every player has a role, every voice matters, and every effort contributes to the collective goal. Mr. Speaker, this match will bring together members from across the political spectrum, showcasing that while we may have different views and affiliations, we are united by our love for our country and our commitment to its democratic ideals. This celebration is also a tribute to our citizens who have entrusted us with the responsibility to govern. It is their unwavering support and active participation that have fortified our democracy. As representatives, we must always remember that our strength lies in the diversity and unity of our people. Moreover, this event will provide an opportunity to honor the spirit of sportsmanship and healthy competition, qualities that are essential in both sports and politics. It reminds us that regardless of the outcome of the scoreboard, what truly matters is the respect we show each other, the effort we put forth, and the joy we derive from the game. Let us embrace this football match as a symbol of our democratic journey. Let it serve as a reminder of how far we have come and as an inspiration for the path ahead. As we celebrate 30 years of democracy, let us renew our commitment to uphold the principles that define us, to work together for the common good, and to continue striving for a just and a prosperous nation. I will end by calling on members, staff, football enthusiasts, especially the fans, media, institutions, CSOs, and other stakeholders to take note and fully participate to ensure a successful event. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let the game begin and may it be a celebration of our unity, our democracy, and our shared future.
We've had a series of events to commemorate the 30th anniversary. Ghana has had a rich history of democratic governance, and 30 years, I believe, is a significant milestone. We've had the Rawlings era, we've had the Kufuor era, we've had the Mahama era, we've had the Akufo-Addo era, and today we are still enjoying our democratic processes in this country. Mr. Speaker, we've commemorated the 30 years with a public fora, with health walks and prayer sessions across the country. And I'm particularly happy that today we are crowning it all with a football match. Football is the passion of the nation. It brings us together. It promotes peace, reconciliation, and unity. And it is a common ground for us to socialize. And I'm particularly happy that the women have been given the opportunity to play the curtain raiser. Even though, unfortunately, out of the 40 women in this house, we could not raise the team. But I believe that once we're going to play the female staff this afternoon, we'll do our best and see what we can do this afternoon. Football, whether it's the Starlets, whether the Satellites, whether Meteors, or the senior team, the Black Stars, or the Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars, the Princesses, is the passion of the nation. And apart from the fact that it brings us together in the form of socialization, it's another way of football exercising.
So you heard the words of the Member of Parliament for Tano North, who is a ranking member on the Youth and Sports Committee of Parliament, Honorable Frida Prempe, speaking on the Democracy Cup. That's how we end tonight's edition of Eyewitness News. My name is Umaru Sanda Amadou. I did this with Eno Safo. Production by Kobina Wilson, Bevelyn London, and Sami Wiafe. Daniel Squashi helped us with the technical side of things, and Edwin Kwakofi was on the new media side of things. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Up next, we bring you a playback of Face to Face. Face to Face is a show that airs on Channel 1 television on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. I'm your host, and last night my guest, Member of Parliament for Northern Samoa, Okujeto Ablakwa. I want to stay tuned in and listen to the conversation. Good night.